When you think of COVID and you think of COVID impacting on a community, I think for us one of the biggest challenges is going to be food security, housing, shelter. How are you going to pay? The electricity and the water is so expensive. So even though they would say that COVID sort of made everybody, it's not true. It has deepened the inequality on the ground, because even with the testing, I mean, I can recall a time when it was 1,000 rand. You can't just go for a test. And then who can afford 1,000 rand?
The impact that COVID had around gender-based violence in my community, there was a lot of wine, there's drugs, there's the alcohol abuse, etc. And when men come, there's no money, there's no food because men is at home. Mostly of the people loses their jobs. And now the men come home tonight, he's drunk, he wants food, he starts shouting the woman, and the woman shout back, and that is where the fight starts. Poor children, especially the young girls, was mainly targeted by the gender-based violence and by violence happening in and around the community.
What also we are struggling is when they said there's a Zoom meeting, or some of the people can't even afford these phones. COVID has crippled our communities, I would say, because, you know, for me to see someone in a food line, like go fetch food, people that you don't normally see, as to go stand in a food line, you know, it strips them from dignity. But also they go because there's a need to go for the children's sake. There's people that is unemployed. When we started, there was a lot of promises made to our people about food parcels, you know, money that our people will get. And at the end of the day, our people never received anything. And that made our people very vulnerable.